Babada. Give me 1 second, guys, until I get this all figured out with the live stream and the audio. Una segunda, por favor. Babada. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to double check if I can see it went live. Oh, it froze for some reason. Segunda, por favor. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm always double checking to see if the stream works before I start it, because I've had some streams not work and I realized that like 20 minutes in. Okay, we're already DJ Cyberdime. What's up? I can see. Okay, it seems to be working though. And can I switch from panel to panel? Yes, I can. Perfect. Okay, let's get started. Guys, I'm going to open up the chat on my cell phone again, because I realized that in the last stream it looked really crappy with all the overlays from the Mac OS. I don't like that so much. I feel like it doesn't look good. I'm reading the chat on my cell phone today, just so you know. Feel free to write and I will read. Ariel, what's up? Okay, let me know if the audio is fine, because I changed a lot of things and I'll explain in a second why, but first let's get it all set up here. So, I'm just going to drag in some sound for now to see if it all works out. Let's start with Omnisphere. Let's take it really slow today. Really relaxed. Atmosphere. Desert flutes. Sounds good. Okay, that should be working. Let's go, guys. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I forgot to say welcome. A couple things got updated since last stream. Man, where do I start, actually? I got myself an Apollo after years of trying out different interfaces and using the SSL2 Plus for like the longest time ever. I just wanted to upgrade the setup. And that little baby boy, Apollo X4, is the one that I've purchased, and I'm really happy with it. Like, in terms of the preamps, the sound quality is really great, but I am kind of struggling with this console software, the one that you see on my screen currently. It works well, but it doesn't work so well with live streaming. So I can't use my Moog and little drum machine on the back here, because it mixes all those signals together. So I'm still finding out a way to get this all set up. And to be honest, I wanted to live stream earlier today, but that wasn't possible because I had to do a lot of troubleshooting with this whole control software. I'm still I'm still working on a solution. Let's get back to Ableton Live though. Just wanted to get that out the way. Or maybe an octave up. Nice. Now maybe let's just go for one static chord. On the audio effects. Oh, it's live 12, that's why. Nope. I don't know if I should go for something like this. Maybe we could duplicate the track, take away the effects on this one, pitch it down an octave. I don't know what we're going for today. Maybe chill, maybe ambient, maybe something more organic housey. Getting some clipping. Who do we have in the chat today? We got Lube, what's up, man? Moog Mariana VST. I'm getting a few requests on the Moog Mariana VST. Maybe I should do a video on that. What are we doing today? I have no idea. Hi Gumale, what's up? Federico, what's up? Maybe Zamba? Oh. We could maybe incorporate some kind of Latin percussion. Let's see. Would you rather like the chat to be seen? Or would you rather like to have Ableton Live in full screen? Let me know in the chat if you would like to see the chat on the live stream or if you would like to, if you don't care. If you prefer Ableton Live only. What's up, Razindu? Yeah, I don't really like reading from my phone, to be honest. Kind of takes away the... It's kind of distracting, honestly. But I'll leave it today like this. It's okay. What am I going for? That's good. But that's not what I'm looking for, though. Can I... This is just the drum kits, right? The instrument kits. Okay, this is okay. No, I kind of like it more like this. Feels more soothing. So what's the BPM today? 115 maybe. Let's go slower. Jazzy and organic. I could try something rather jazzy and organic. So let's save this joint into live stream. What day is it today? 040224 live stream. Notepad. iPad. Let's try some. No, let's take this rack and put it here. Freeze that. Flatten that. So we don't have to use this effect. EQ out the lows. Spread it out to the sides. What can I use to spread it to the sides? Maybe let's tighten down the transients. Nice. Sound toys. Emulator. Is the audio on the stream okay? Like, is it loud enough? Hey man, just wanted to say thank you for all your videos. I'm a total noob and they're helping me a lot. Keep going with your good job. Thank you so much, Gordon. I'm glad to hear that my videos help. Honestly, I target mostly beginners with my tutorials. Sometimes, or most of the time, especially recently, I've been doing a lot of, you know, plugin stuff. A bit nerdy, I would say. But I definitely want to go back to the basics in the future. I have another video with output coming. So expect to see a bit more plugin relevant videos on the channel, but yeah, I'll make sure to switch it up soon though. I want to spread this somehow. Yeah, a little chorus here. Let's put this into some kind of a reverb. So what can we use? What kind of reverb can we use that sounds nice and natural? Arturia. Arturia has a nice lexicon. 440. No, 24 exactly. I'm just going to put it directly on the channel because I'm lazy. And let's go for the SEM-V2, which is a nice sample-based synth by Arturia. Excuse me, not that one. No, no, no. I forget the names. Farfisa? No, I don't think it was. Nope. Emulator 2, I think it was this one. Yeah, this one. Really like it. I love the sound. Reminds me of like the nostalgic trance tracks. Set up a reverb here. I don't know, I'm just on the Arturia vibe currently. This sound is just... Oh my gosh. Buonasera e grazie from Italy. Nice to have you here. Nirmal, what's up? Would be nice if you had... Okay. Volume on the music louder. We're getting a louder request. Son of a gun. Let's turn up, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it loud enough? Yes, audio okay. Who else we have? Enigma. Ah, Enigma was the guy who was using this flute. I'm just gonna... Let's quantize. The starting point here. I think let's duplicate the track, freeze track, and flatten. So we have that as audio. Now let's look for a second sound here. Cut out the lows. Some kind of melody phrasing or something like that. I don't know. There we freaking go, dude. Let's go. Maybe an octave higher. Maybe something more repetitive. I'm not sure if I want this sound though. Jesus. Let's just go with that first note here. Duplicate, freeze, and flatten. Next sound. Dude. Good fella. Sounds great. Are you using the DT990 Pros? Looks like them. I have some ones on right now. I am, but I'm thinking of getting new ones. I don't know, because they're really old. DT770 Pro 250 ohm version. I don't like that it has so much ohm, to be honest. I feel like I have to crank the preamp up still all the way. Oh my gosh. Okay, that sounds nice. We've got ourselves a tom groove. Let's quantize it. Loop. Extend. Now second layer. Just layer by layer, going through what inspires me. DT 1990. I just got mine. They seem to be a lot sharper on the high end, which I'm getting used to. I'm trying to play it in sync with the toms right now. Let's see if that was good. So we got this. This. Consolidate. 16th, Command Shift U. Let's go for 70% quantization. Maybe 100% actually. Delay, let's go for Waves H delay today. Okay. Ableton Live has this really cool capture feature up here. If you play a melody, it captures the last recorded melody, even though you didn't record it. So I just played in a cool melody, I hit capture, and it got it. I think that's an Ableton Live 11 feature. See? Now we're creating ear candy practically right now, just layer by layer. Since these are ear candies, I'm flattening them to audio. Since I don't really need the MIDI. Just want to stay in the workflow right now. Ear candy. I agree. Just got mine. They seem to be a lot sharper. Steinhoven says, "Hi Kevin, got the Organic House Essential Sound Pack the other day. Great stuff. So much inspiring making music. Thanks so much, man. Happy to hear that." Now let's look for an ear candy this section here. Maybe something that's similar to the one that's here in terms of the melody. No! There we go, son. Either we use the same one because I actually really like it. Let's spread this guy out a bit. I actually really like it. So the elements can be separated out. We do a utility, bass mono. And now we're gonna load a stereo rise effect before that. Dude, I have too many plugins. I'm somebody who purchases stuff impulsively, and that's very bad. I have so much stuff that I don't need. I'm gonna be honest, man. I really need to minimize my setup, like really minimize it. And my impulsive brain is like, no, you're a collectionist. Buy it. Don't worry. It's horrible, dude. It's like an addiction. Because I always end up looking too long, you know? I need to know where my stuff is quickly. That's far more important than having like this abundance of plugins and stuff. But let's, I don't know. What are we gonna go for? Sound toys, maybe. Maybe we really go for sound toys today, huh? Micro shift, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, this could be okay. Let's freeze that. Flatten that. So maybe we can use these two combined, you know? And now we have this one that we can delete. There's gonna be more. I'm gonna do my best to read the comments while staying in a workflow. Good evening, Dennis J. What's up, man? Effect Rack by Sound Toys, yeah. Basically combines all the effects into one rack, right? I need to use that one more. Since it's practically the same sound on this layer, we need to make space. So this channel, this and this are gonna be drums. Clave. For some reason my CPU is kinda... Okay, that's just the way it is, I guess. Maybe we need to work on a higher buffer size next time. Let's go for next one here. That's nice. Nice. And okay, I feel like I need to move on to like another synth before I do this the entire evening. The modulation is a bit too much here. Add an extra delay, make it feedback more. You know, like a dub delay, right? Band pass it. Aww. I love that, dude. Just gotta find the right rate. Take away that low end mud. Nice. What's up, Mason James? Nice to have you here. Well, I bought Ableton Live Standard Edition finally, but I don't have Max for Live. What? You should have Max for Live with Ableton Live 11 Standard, though. Some shiver reverb on pads, maybe. Okay, Nirmal. Let's see. Bit too much resonance, though. Let's go for rate. Oh my god, I love it. Do I have any shimmer reverb? Let's add that to a send. I mean a return. Nah, this isn't the right one. Let's see what we can find that would maybe like crystallizer or something like that. Let's add it to the send. 100% dry wet. We have perfect fifth. Oh my gosh, that sounds lovely. Or maybe an octave. Without? With? we need an EQ after though. So much harmonic information being added. Can kind of blend them in that way. I like the perfect fifth though, 700 cents. It makes it feel more dubby. Yeah, it makes the track feel just more dubby, I would say. I'm gonna keep it that way. Yeah, the lows do have a lot of lows though. Might have to filter them out later. Mi corazón. Something like that. Let's copy the effects here. You know what? Let's create a new return with color copy on it because I do like it. Suck. Mix 100%. Volume vocals. What are we gonna go for? Do we have corazón somewhere here? Nope. Mi alma. I think it means my soul or something like that. Mi alma. Mi alma. Mi alma. Mi alma. Mi alma. Mi alma. Not sure though. Sounds too percussive. Let's go for something slower. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And add a low cut to the color copy channel, as well as a low cut to the channel itself. And chuck it into reverb. It's a bit too much low cut. Let's make it feel underwater. Endless imagination, you know? Jesus, that is so nice. Maybe not play the conga so consistently. Holy moly, those pads take up so much space in the mix. That is unbelievable. Yeah, I don't usually like keeping the low cut, the pads fully in. Like a mistake that I would often do when it comes to this genre is I would get so used to the pads sounding so full, but it takes up a lot of space. So adding a low cut helps to clean it out, or adding some kind of plugin to make it more rhythmic. Like, I think you guys know the M12 filter. For some reason we have some noise. I don't know where it's coming from though. Yeah, it's the color copy. I think we have some floor low. Yeah, it's the vintage floor that's caused by the color copy, unfortunately. I don't like that. Plugins that do that. Yeah, M12 filter. Cool little plugin. This is one preset. See, you get a lot more space in the mix this way. Just compare, right? A lot more space through adding rhythm or filter movement, panning, I don't know, some kind of like movement to give it space. Less resonance, less of that wow wow wow. I don't understand, why is the rate not changing? Man, I could listen to this sound all day. Schöne Atmosphäre, dankeschön. Reduce the white noise to... The white noise? Mason James, the Utol challenge? It's only available as an add-on to buy for an additional 110. Oh guys, sorry if I can't catch up on the chat here. That Arturia emulator plugin is so good. Which one? Ah, the reverb. Okay, let's go for some drums. I'm gonna use the newly created rack. You guys probably already know of this rack. It's called the Organic House Groove Creator, which is included in the most recent sound pack of Organic House Essentials. Some of you may already have it. So this is the rack. CPU is kind of weird today. You got it. And the MIDI clips. Let's just duplicate it because I do like this. But I want to switch the sounds up a bit more. You know what? I'm going to remove the kick completely from this layer over here. Freeze track. Flatten it. Gonna add this to the tops. Okay, I'm gonna undo a couple steps here because I forgot to take out the tom. Enable headphones. Yeah, this I don't want. That is perfect. Freeze. There's a lot that you can do with just MIDI, really. The drum rack is amazing for getting decent top loops. Now let's tighten the drums out here. 16th, not transient, 16th. Tops, Organic House Essentials. Okay, that flute is annoying. I'm using Ableton Live 11. It doesn't seem to be working for me. Or we can have an old... Yeah, I've actually tried to contact Ableton Live to get me hooked up with standard, because for some reason, once you install the suite, you can't downgrade to standard, and it's not possible. They said it's not possible. I can use Ableton Live 11 suite, 10 suite, and I think 9 suite, but only suite. So I'm not going to be able to work with standard, at least not for now. The vocal remind me of Bedouin set from Mixmag. I'll have to check that out. I like Bedouin. How is the latency with Apollo? It's really, really good. Honestly, I got myself the Apollo because I wanted to be able to use all of my devices at the same time while producing. I have a Sub 37 and a TR-8S, which I also recently grabbed. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking buying too much shit. But I want to kind of combine those stuff because I like this performance aspect of producing. But my SSL2 Plus only had 2 inputs, and with those 2 inputs, I could only plug in the mic in the Sub 37. And even if I put the latency down to the lowest value, I would still get massive delays between the signals. But with the Apollo, no issue. The only issue that I have with the Apollo is that for some reason, when I'm streaming into OBS, for example, let me just quickly show you how it's set up. I think you go into settings, or was it advanced audio properties? Audio or Mac OS screen capture. Oh, guys, I don't want to get lost in this. I'm sorry. I don't feel like I can dive deep into this right now. Kind of want to keep it with producing. But I feel like it's a bit tedious to set up in stream because all the audio is... You see where my mic is coming out right now? It's split from the DAW audio. So whatever comes out of my PC is going into Mac OS screen capture. But my mic, alongside all the other instruments like the Sub 37 and the TR-8S, come through this channel. But if I want to route them into the DAW, that's not possible because OBS takes the signal before it goes into the DAW. And yeah, that's what I realized today just before I wanted to start the stream, which is why I delayed it massively. I tried to that's not possible. Come on, dude. But I'm going to have to work around that. There's a software called Soundflower, which allows you to install like an extra aggregate device for this audio MIDI setup thing. and you can try messing around with it here, but that's the only disadvantage that I feel like this interface comes with. Like, they overcomplicated the routing a bit. You have a lot of customization, a lot of options, especially with the console. You can put in plugins right over here. So for example, if I would want to have all these plugins on my voice, I would just hit, or actually I have them on my voice currently, but they're just disabled. I think the only one that's enabled is this compressor over here. Whoa! Yeah, you see? Whenever my voice gets to a peak, it takes down the peaks. And I could also put an auto-tune on it if I would want to auto-tune my voice. So right now you should hear my voice auto-tuned. Whoa! And it would do so in real time, meaning that it won't add latency to the track in Ableton Live. So the audio comes in here, it's processed, and if I would want to record, my vocals into here, I would create a new audio track. There. Add my vocal here. And I'd have the fully processed signal without any latency in Ableton Live, which is, I think it's amazing. And all that is handled by the interface, which I think is amazing. So I could just put it onto, if you put it onto input monitoring, this is the signal right now. Input is Ableton only, so no processing. Auto is auto and record arm. This is the control software. So you can split your audio between the control software and Ableton. Like if you want to record it directly into Ableton Live, you just hit input monitoring and it goes directly into Ableton. If you hit auto and record arm the track, it takes the audio from, you guessed it, the control software. So I could also enable the auto tune here. And now you hear my voice auto-tuned and I sound like T-Pain. But we don't want that. So I'm going to disable it for now. I'm going to disable the auto-tune and keep it clean. But that's practical if you have issues with like latency in your DAW caused by plugins. And that, especially auto-tune, is a plugin that adds so much latency. For example, WavesTune is an alternative that I've been using so far. I can just load it into a track. You can see, okay, latency 0 samples it says, but that's not true. I don't know why it's adding 0 samples, because it does come with latency. I've experienced it with latency before. Maybe if I change the scale and stuff like that. Oh, input, auto, input. No. That's weird. Okay. Okay, I don't want to get too carried away. I don't know why it's not adding latency, to be honest. But you always have latency with every plugin that is added into your DAW. That's what I wanted to say. So if I were to load the Antares Auto-Tune real time into the track directly, 0 samples. What the frick? Man, I don't know what's going on. Technology is being weird to me today. What's up, Lafond? Restream VST on the master? No, I'm not. I don't know how that works. It does come with a bit of latency. I've heard of it. But I don't know if I want to use that for the stream. Duplicate that, freeze track. Oops, I accidentally freezed everything. Didn't want that, no worries. Latin. My CPU is kind of weird today. I don't know. Just too much reverb on the conga here. Now we can remove the top end, play just the kick, because I want a kick for this track. We definitely need some kind of sidechaining on these both. Okay, which kick is this? Okay. That's that kick, okay. Gotcha. Then let's load that one in here. Put this here. Definitely need some sidechaining. Cool channel. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Marcus. Some kind of a shaker groove that carries the entire groove somewhat. No input. Maybe this, let's see. Something's kind of off with the timing on one of these loops. It's a bit too much swing. Not sure which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, it has some swing on it. I didn't pay attention. No worries. That's not helping. Set the right loop length. It's definitely this one. This is swingy. There we go. So we have like a chicka, chicka, chick, chicka, chick. You know, maybe like a main hi-hat. Drums, one shots. What did I just do? Oops. Shakers. this should work. Hot swap it. Yeah, it does help out the groove a bit. CPU is really getting on my nerves today. I might actually have to turn down the latency a bit, or turn it up, I mean. Let's go for 512 should be okay. Some plugins I think are too much. I'm using a lot of plugins that I don't usually use, but I did freeze and flat most of them, so does look a bit better now. Let's use this original. Let's turn off the kick. And by the way, the organic house rack that I created here, if you turn the knobs all the way up to 127, you can mute the kick without going into the MIDI clip, which I kind of forgot before. So if you just want to have like the shaker, you could pull everything up to 127. Right, and then you could right click, freeze and flatten without having to go into the MIDI and like, you know. You can also delay the shaker groove here. Oh, that's a nice shaker right there. You can also tighten it here using this loose knob. You can also automate this. So let's automate this. Map it to the FaderFox controller here. And record that into a new channel. I think I accidentally undid that. I didn't want to undo. So create a new audio track. Command T, not Command C. And take the audio from track 3, record arm. Make sure that the signal is loud enough, and now I can play with my FaderFox. This little controller, I've mapped this button over here. Just give you a little overview. So, there we go. Oh my gosh, it's blurry as heck. This button over here is now controlling the looseness of the hi-hat. I'm just gonna let it play through for a couple bars and touch it, just to touch my track a bit. Now bringing some humanity into the track. Some humanness. Oh, where are we? There we go. So let's do that. Maybe let's create a groove. You know what? Let's go slow. Yeah, just a bit of movement, right? That should be fine. Just the first 4. There we go. Zuck. Oops. Hello, Mr. Lotus. Do you ever play live, and do you have a setup for it? I'm currently working on putting together a setup. Your percussion is always great. Thank you so much, Claves. Cool. Yeah, I do plan on doing live performances, and I plan on doing more with Ableton Live. I like the session view and the ability to load in tracks and to use this as DJing, but again, something that I'm getting into. I definitely want to play an instrument live like the Moog and have a drum machine to play along a track. You know, imagine having a track playing and you can mix in samples, mix in elements of your own. Feels so different. And that's something that I'm working on. That's also one of the reasons why I grabbed the Apollo, honestly, because I want to incorporate more of a performance aspect in my own workflow, and in the future also be able to make tutorials not only on music production with the, you know, screen share that I do, but also maybe turn on an extra camera, have it showing on the Moog, the drum machine, how everything kind of works together here in the studio. Because I believe many of us producers also want to know how to perform, and yeah, my feeling has been telling me to move more into that direction. But currently I have everything running into the Apollo X4 interface. Channel 1 is my mic, channel 2 is sub 37, 3.4 is the stereo input for the TR-8S. Also works in mono, but I want the reverb and delay and the panning features so you can actually hear the stereo on the drums. That's really important for me. Moog sub 37 is a mono synth anyway, so it doesn't really matter to have two inputs, just one input and it's done. Hello again, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Unique. Where are you from, by the way? I was born in the USA, in the USA, but I moved to Germany when I was small. When I was, I think not even teenager. That's why I have such an American accent, despite being so German. Okay, let's set up a ghost kick. Sends only. Man, this stream is full of gems. A lot of little behind the scenes tips and tricks. So we're gonna put it into SC kick, and start loading up some compressors. Dynamics compressor, sidechain input, sidechain kick, post effects. Maybe change the input frequency a bit so it focuses on the top end of the kick more. Actually, screw it. Now let's listen. Get some sidechain there. Especially on those toms, they need some sidechaining. And the pads. Maybe a little more on the pads. A little more release. It's a lot of gain reduction. I don't know if I want that. Let's pull it up to 0 dB. Does it change anything actually? Nope, it does not. But if I change the input gain, yeah, I'm gonna have more signal to work with. I don't want to pull my threshold down to minus infinity. So minus 6 dB. Minus 10 dB for the tops. I think that's too much. But I need so much compression on at least a few channels. Yeah, the toms definitely need more intense. So the toms, let's move them out of the drums channel so they get their separate sidechaining. The flute! I had it off the whole time. Oh, that's what I get for disrespecting it. Some sidechain compression on the tops. Some on the pads. Tom, and lastly the ear candy. I feel like the shaker groove isn't really standing out too much. It still feels very tight. Let's get some more action in the shakers. Either this one or this one. No, this one's too much. I overused this one already. No, too much. This one's fine. For this, yeah, for this track it works well. Maybe we could pan it though, because we already have one shaker layer that's playing in the middle. If you have two, just pan them. I feel like the toms have a lot of that resonant doo. Gonna use Pro Q3 because I feel like it has this cool little function where you can take the peak down and make it dynamic, so it's less harsh. Could just pull the channel down in its entirety, since this is a sound that mostly has its information here. We do have some harmonics that I might want to leave, you know, so the difference becomes just, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. Just pulling down a peak and doing so using the dynamic band, because dynamic always tends to sound a bit softer than just surgically pulling down the peak, you know. I don't use multiband though so much, like the multiband dynamics, stuff like that. I feel like that's not something for this genre, but I do use Pro Q nonetheless as a way to catch peaks on certain elements. Certain resonant frequencies. It's like Soothe, but in one band, you know. Soothe is good for bell sounds, mallets, pads. For this sound, it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it does. I don't hear that much of a difference, to be honest. It takes away a lot of the low end. Yeah, you gotta be careful with these plugins though, because they can take away a lot of the flavor and flatten out your track. They do end up taking out like all the harmonics, right? It does help. Yeah, you see now the latency is working. You see down in the bottom left corner of my screen, I can't take my mouse away or else it will disappear. It says latency 2048 samples, 46 milliseconds, which is a lot. That's a lot of latency. And the control software that I showed you previously by Apollo, or by Universal Audio, I mean. It has the ability to load plugins of their own without latency. Unfortunately, you can't put like a Soothe in here. That would be cool. But yeah, it's still very handy to have these plugins like the Neve preamps. This L82A, is it that? No, it's 1176 compressor, which is really great on vocals. And having that without any latencies, I would say pretty cool. It's goes in very handy. Yeah. Got a lot of resonance here. You see that peak here? Let's grab it and pull it down. Reset, make dynamic. If the resonance is really annoying, I just pull it down surgically. Like I wouldn't care about making it dynamic. But if it's a vocal, then I'd care more, right? Because it's a really sensitive signal. You don't want to just surgically cut out. You could, of course, but you have this option, so why not use it? Yeah, unfortunately, Ableton EQ doesn't have this option. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like that's one of the only reasons why I end up with Pro Q3. So before, after. Just pulls down those resonant peaks here, right? Yeah. Before. After. I feel like I'm taking away too much of the flavor though. So let's multi-select. Just a bit. But I would say generally focus less on that type of stuff, like the surgical engineering type of stuff, and try to make more progress towards your track. You can always do that later. I just feel like showing it to you today, so I'm doing it this early on. Stay in a flow. If you feel like that brings you out of the flow, don't do it. Grüße aus Berlin. Hello again, happy Sunday. Grüße aus Hamburg. We have maybe just one more melodic element that we can control the cutoff to. What haven't I used in a long time? Let's go over this maybe. Well, that's an old school sound right there. Gosh, I don't know this synth. Envelope, we got the envelope. We add noise. I like the second one the best. Sounds good. If only I could. Is this modulation, yeah? Okay. Okay, that first bit was kind of good, so let's take that. That's nice. Let's loop that section here. So we have kind of like a little sound that we can build into the intro, right? Let's remove the detune. Just keep it at one solid pitch. Maybe slightly offset the positioning. Yeah. And if I were to arrange a track like this, I would just duplicate it a couple times and start subtracting from the intro, right? I'm not going to arrange this track fully because that's something that'll just take too long. Maybe like basics here. It's just like in Germany we say Baukasten, like Lego bricks. You put one brick after the other. So you build your little castle. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Build your little castles. You build something with Lego. You stack the Lego on top, and at the end, you just push it down so it breaks. And then you take piece by piece. Since you already have the right pieces, right? You already put the pieces, you already built your structure together. And now you just want to put those pieces one after the other. So that's kind of what we're doing right here, right? We have the foundation. Now we're just spreading it out and subtracting from the intro and slowly adding those elements in. right? And you don't need that much. I'd say we have all the elements to fully arrange the track now. Maybe one more bass groove layer. I just have this toms that takes all the bass. Maybe add like one more bass, but that's it. You have all you need, and this is a very progressive genre, so you can take your time, right? No wonder the tracks are like 6, 7, 8 minutes long, because they take their time. So we could hold this for a little longer, right? Command-Shift-D, duplicate it over. Take out the vocal maybe. Okay, that's not gonna work like that. We need to Command-Shift-D the entire section. So this full one here, Command-Shift-D. Is that right? That is correct. Now we take this. You can take your freaking time with this. There's no need to rush with the arrangement. I'm guilty of this, by the way. I'm guilty of rushing the arrangement. So I want to take my time. I'm training myself to take more time as well. And like right here, add one more. So we have like, could take away the kick here. Let's enable auto filter low cut. By the way, I highly recommend using auto filter for low cut automation on the sub and the kick. Because it does sound a bit, I don't know, it takes away more of the low end, I feel like. But unfortunately with auto filter, it does not react to, on time. Like sometimes you take away the low end and it just, like if I put the automation here, sometimes, I realize this sometimes. If I put the bass back in, for example. Okay, it's Vorführeffekt. It's not working now, but be careful with autofilter because sometimes it trims off the transients from your kick. Okay, this part needs way more melodic information. I would say. Maybe chords or something like that. Yeah. Maybe like a crash sweep. I don't like using effect transitions as my main resort. Like I always like to get the most out of the transitions using automation. But right now I feel lazy. You know what we need? We need like some kind of a dub effect right here. Maybe like a E minor. Let's see. I don't know about these chords. Holy shit. I don't know. Nah, there was that one chord that we could end up using though. I did like it. Can we pitch it up or will it sound weird? I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, unfortunately there's some notes that don't fit to the scale. Maybe something like this. Not the right sample though. Need something more percussive. Reverse it. Perhaps just feed this entire ear candy channel into the delay before the drop hits. Chorus. Maybe also chuck it into that reverb. This is the advantage of putting stuff into your sends. So you can always access them via the send and return automation here. Let's try something stupid. Not stupid, but funny. Endless smile, man. This thing. It's actually not that bad. but it's not not on the send. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not doing that much. I'll take it away. I just wanted to show it though. Let's go for like a bass line maybe. Yeah, that was missing. That was definitely missing. Now on this guy, I'm gonna actually use an LFO tool because I feel like I do have a bit more control. Yeah. There we go. Oh man, where am I putting these, dude? Feels too empty. I'm gonna color copy them. Oh yeah, the pads are off, that's why. Copy this entire section here. Maybe like this actually. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. So I'll have to, oh man, I don't like it when that happens. The MIDI gets cut off. I'll have to readjust it. MIDI gets cut off, so we'll have to readjust it. Okay, where's the bass? There it is. It's lacking some atmosphere strings, something that really allows the listener to dive in. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Anthony. About to go to bed. So, yeah. Not that much going on besides the sleepiness. Slowly starting to kick in. But I'm happy that I have the foundation to this track arranged here. Stretch it out to 7 minutes. Yeah, okay. I actually didn't want to arrange the track. I ended up arranging it. Okay, I'm going to end it at this point, guys, to be honest. I'm just going to quickly read through a couple of the last comments, the final comments. Is Omnisphere a computer hog, as they say? Yeah, it does actually get to the CPU if you especially use a couple of layers, but it's worth it for me. I'm Omnisphere, even for like, you could resample the layers, right? You could duplicate the track, resample it. It's always worth the sounds. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I'm from USA East Coast. Okay, I was from West Coast, California. I was born in California, but I live in Germany at the moment. Not at the moment. I've been living here for a very long time. I was a little child. Yeah. Let's leave out the kick beginning. Yeah, thank you so much for joining in on today's stream, everyone. I'm gonna end it in a second. Really happy that you guys joined in. I hope you learned something new. If you're interested in the sounds, you can check them out using the link down below. Mandatory promotion. Keeps the channel running though. Really happy with this track. Really, really happy. Now, this track is far from being masterable. Like, I still need to finish the arrangement, reduce the peaks in the individual subgroups, because they're gonna destroy the limiter or maximizer here. But just so you see how it works. You can see what's peaking in the limiter, right? Kick and sub, which is pretty usual for this genre, right? Getting 4 to 5 dB of compression, which is fine. So it seems to be working out naturally and quite well. Track is mixed kind of quietly. You can see that I had to pull it up 11 dB to, get enough level. Even that is a bit quiet, so I might have to readjust my mix. I don't know, true peak? I'm not sure about true peak limiting. I'm not an expert on this topic, but I always leave a bit of ceiling. Very good. Wish you well with your channel. Thank you so much, Anthony. We got Serge. Hello, bro. Can you help me find a good analog bass for down tempo? Also, if you can, in the next live, can you do mastering? Yeah, well, I'm kind of... yeah, I'll do it in the next live session. I'll spend some more time on mastering. But honestly, I don't do too much mastering. I'm not a mastering engineer. That's like learning music production all over again, man. I mostly just, honestly, just chuck in a tape. That's how you would do it in the old school days. Just put it through a tape to be able to record it, and you get all those analog characteristics implemented into your track. I have no idea how this works, but it's supposed to give it flavor. And then add some EQing, some final touches, and then pull it up with the maximizer. But before you are able to do all this, you need to ensure that the mix is clean. And that all the elements are not peaking, not destroying your limiter. I like doing this, once I have the basis of the track established, to see if there are any elements that are already too loud and that already peak into the limiter, which in this case is okay, because the drums are already being compressed, and this drum bus is also adding like a really tight compression, so there isn't anything really peaking too much. Yeah. Everything's sidechained, so no, there isn't too much phase distortion happening from the kick clashing with the bass, which also leads to, doubled up signals punching into the limiter, doing like these hand movements. No loud melodies that kind of distort, so everything seems to be well balanced, which is what the limiter is telling me here. How much LUFS are we getting? There we go. We'll jump straight up to minus 8.8. That's already way louder than, I want it to be. Yeah. You guys ask always like, what kind of LUFS? What? All depends on your track. If you have a track and your kick is too loud, have fun pulling up the limiter. Like, you're gonna get distortion on the kick within a second. Finding a right kick from the start, mixing it well with the bass, and doing all these procedures that I've showed you today to add up to a, good master. That's really important. Really important. So having structure within your Ableton Live session. For me personally, like, everybody has their own structure, organization. Some people get along with chaos. I don't. Because if I have a session that is this large, with so many tracks. Like 31 tracks is, I wouldn't consider this to be a minimalistic session. Although you have to consider, you know, I've created everything kind of from scratch. So the entire tops loop isn't a single loop. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the essentials of the track is really the groups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's like 8 main tracks, right? Yeah, keep it minimal. And keep it structured, keep it organized so you have more control over your mix. So you know, okay, this element is there, I've already mixed it, goes into this group channel, which is being processed by this drum bus, etc. For me, organization is really helpful. Tim Green also said that he can't work without having decent structure. There was an interview by him online, and he said he needs structure. He needs organization to be able to keep a clean mix, and I can 100% agree with that. And he's also one of my favorite producers and DJs and musicians of all times. I like him. Good mentality to life and everything. I like him a lot. Tim Green, if you're watching this, let's get connected, man. I try to aim for minus 14 LUFS, but I've heard minus 6 to minus 8 is good. Yeah, minus 14 is too quiet in my opinion. There's people telling that Spotify accepts minus 14 dB LUFS as LUFS masters, but that's only for, I think, mobile users. It's definitely worth getting into. This whole LUFS thing, I've heard a lot about it. Many different opinions, and I was like, oh man, but my track is minus 13. I want to pull it up to minus 8. I end up pulling up the maximizer, or pulling down the maximizer, aka pulling up the limiter, and my kick starts distorting. I'm like, why can't I get that LUFS? It all comes down to the gain staging in your mix, really. It's if you realize that you have to, you know, pull your... How do I explain it? Yeah. Just keep a clean mix from the start. From the get-go, pay attention to the elements that you use, mix them in properly. You know, if you feel like a sound is too resonant, try to implement that into your workflow. This video was a great example, I would say, from how to approach mixing and producing at the same time. Sometimes I just feel like chucking in samples, being lazy, but that always, like 90% of the time, ends up with me having to go back to the samples and mix them in because, you know, I've already arranged it and I feel uninspired to go back into the mix and kind of tweak along the way. So, yeah. Yeah, it's already looking quite well. Like I would just perhaps export this as oh gosh, Dokumente. Let's see, look at the waveform just temporarily, you know. It's not even really finished the track, but just for idea bounces. Sand por siempre. Somehow all my names are turning up to be Spanish. Por siempre test bounce. Yeah, that'll then bounce. If the streams like Spotify pull it down to minus 14, would it make much difference in your mix? The thing is, every platform has its own loudness standard. There's also a software that I believe is for free called Loudness Penalty. Loudness Penalty Analyzer. There's a plugin version. And there's also, yeah, you can drag and drop your audio here, and you can, I don't like using this too much, to be honest, because I already know what LUFS to aim for, so I don't need the software to tell me which streaming platform will pull it down by how much, but it's just good to know for those who want to know. It's just worth, like, there you can see this track specifically, how much the individual platforms will pull it down. You just want to make sure that no platform has to pull it up. Pandora mostly does that. It's very close to 0 dB, but yeah, I'd say this one is a bit quiet. We can test it for the next track that I've just bounced out, or that I'm currently bouncing out. So, or idea bounces. So this one, I know the master did not turn out the way I liked it. Oops. Yes, I've heard of that. You see, so you get to kind of compare them, and then you can compare that to reference tracks of yours. So maybe Grutch, do I have a track by him? Like this one. I have to refresh the page. So this is a mastered wave track, a wave audio file by an artist that I like, whose LUFS is always on point. You can kind of compare that here, right? Whoopa. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And you can kind of read through this here. Generally, loudness is kind of like this annoying topic, I would say. I figured out that I personally like my tracks when they are loud and sound like the tracks that I reference and have a nice and full waveform. Again, I'm not a mastering engineer, and I would always recommend you send your tracks to a mastering engineer if you want somebody professional to get their hands on your stuff, but it's good to learn how it works yourself so you always have a reference point, right? So wave, if I import it, oh gosh, I always forget to pull up the master. I've accidentally left it at like minus 14 dB, which is why it's so quiet. Yeah. Having fun with plugins, I think was this. Don't save. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream in a second anyway, guys, but I just want to quickly show you the stem here. So I guess I might do some talking along the way, so bear with me, I guess. We can pull it up to 0 dB. I accidentally bounced out the 0 dB, minus 15 dB master. I don't want that. So let's overwrite these two files, replace, okay. Do that again. And loudness penalty analyzer plugin was the one thing. Now, what else can I speak of? I don't know, guys. How are you doing? Maybe I should end the stream. I don't know. Should I end it or not? We have some more comments here. It's 5:30 p.m. here. Time to eat. Oh gosh, man! Right here, it's 11:40 p.m. Like in the evening. Time to sleep. Span is pretty awesome for referencing tracks. A German DJ named Dilby has a good vid on it. German? No way he's German. He has an Aussie accent or something like that. No way he's German, though. Dilby maybe lives in Germany, but I don't think he's German. I know him. He has a YouTube channel as well. Every now and then I tune into his stuff. Yeah. Do we have any more comments? Any more earlier comments that I've missed? Amazing. I would love a tutorial on how you do your live setups. Ah, yeah. I think that'll be interesting. Faux show. But yeah, overall, if you'd like to know, I do a lot of how do you call it? Mastering to -8 to -9 dB LUFS. That's usually what I aim for. Some tracks, you know, have been mixed in a way that won't allow them to be pulled up to that. It's just, I don't know. For me, in some cases, I just don't get the mix that I want that enables me to pull it up to that volume because I maybe haven't paid attention to a certain element of the mix. And no matter how much I tweak, it just, I don't know, it stays that way. Because it always depends on the samples you select from the beginning, the way you kind of cohesively put together the elements. So I would say this live stream is a good reference point as to how, you know, a good workflow looks like. In terms of, you know, just sound selection, mixing, arrangement. Yeah. That's usually how I like to approach my tracks. And I always feel satisfied with this type of workflow. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm getting really tired. Sorry if I'm starting to sound a bit mumbly here. I think lol, I could be wrong. Yeah, he makes techno. I produce future bass. Yeah, he makes like tech house, techno, future bass. That's interesting, man. Is my channel helpful to you as a future bass producer? Oops. So yeah, final thing here before I end the stream. Nice and juicy waveform we can see. But we do get a lot of peaks in the intro, which I do not like. And if we dial in on the waveform, you can see here, the clap is too loud. So I'll have to clip the clap. Clap isn't clipped. You can see always on the clap, there's a peak. And the hi-hat. Yeah, hi-hats need to be clipped as well. Using standard clip or some kind of plugin. Also, the kick is slightly distorting from the limiter. So too early for mastering. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. Thank you guys for joining in on today's stream. Thank you for bearing with me in the last few minutes here. I'll make sure to leave this stream available. And I will see you guys in a future video, upcoming video. So yeah, thank you guys. Cheers. Goodbye. Have a nice day or have a nice night.